Okay, let's look at some of the features of the large rat-proof chicken feeder. You've got two axles. There we go. One on each side. You'll notice it's got a big old heavy piece of steel, and you can take these bolts off if you ever want to work on the door. Your door crank goes through the big hole. You bend it over. You don't want it too tight. Your spring, it just kind of hooks up underneath here. Just hook it up underneath there, and then you go up over the top and hook it in the side right there. Or you can drill a couple of holes, put one hole up front, a few toward the back, and that way you can adjust the spring. Let's see here. Coming on out, it's about 4 inches wider than our standard feeder. Holds about 37 pounds of feed. The door goes back. You've got to have these things fastened to a wall. It's got a lip on the inside to keep the chickens from raking feed out, and we do have a lip extender. There's down inside. Now this down here is a throat plate, and you can adjust that thing. There's a bolt that you can barely see right there, a single bolt, so it's easy. And if you can basically loosen that bolt up and raise it up and down. So if you want to feed dog food for a dog, or if you want to feed crumbles or scratch grains, you can adjust it so too much feed doesn't build up down in the bottom of the pan. If you're going to put it outside, take it and bend that in just a little bit. That way you've got a lip that the water will come straight down and will fall straight down instead of going back in. Don't worry about the little gaps. Rats won't get in them. You'll always have a little gap up here at the side, usually on both sides. Sometimes they're tight, sometimes they're not, and there's always a gap up under the bottom. The rats won't get in, trust me. Another close-up of the really heavy-duty axle. When we went with the large one, we had to go wider, and so we had to use a bigger, a wider feeder, and we had to put 2 crank rods on it to support otherwise the metal treadle was getting too flimsy. You got a recess in the back for a 2x4 block that should come with the feeder. We'll come down here and look at the detail of this, see if we can get you a detail of that counterweight. And you see that little metal pin sticking out? That basically keeps the counterweight from rotating down so that you can get away with just one bolt on that counterweight. But that 2x4 block goes in between here, and you basically fasten the block to the wall and run a couple of screws in from the side. And that's pretty much it, the large rat-proof chicken feeder.